Hello, it's Mr. John. For real, for reals. Um, if you can hear me in the Google Meet chat, what is your favorite Halloween candy? And tell Miss Denny and tell Mr. John what it is and why. I will be reading Bus, Treed, Gonwar, Talk, and Changes. Here we go. While you listen, make sure you are listening and responding in the Google Meet chat. Bus. The evening air is cool and damp. I take the first bus that comes, the route that goes past Lou's. I put my coins in the hungry metal mouth beside the driver. The bus jerks and I grab a pole. How far does this bus go? I ask. To the airport, he says. The airport? I repeat, with the flying boats. The driver gives me a strange look. Sit down, kid. I think about this important news as I take a seat. For the first time, I wonder if I could go back home. I have my green money papers, after all. I could fly to my home and find my mother myself. That is what a good son would do. I think of the vastness, of the openness of my country. I think of the camp, the guns, the blood. I wonder if flying back home would be like the time I tried to fly from the top of the acequia tree. The bus is nearly empty. We pass many buildings and take many turns. And then we are on a big street I know well. In the soft light, I see familiar places. The gas stations, the empty lots, the cars for sale, with bright lights on a string overhead like captured stars. This is an ugly land, I think. It needs endless horizons and emptiness. Here, too many buildings block the sky. You can't even watch the sun, put on his bright pajamas, and sink into bed. We are coming close to Lou's. I feel bad not to have said my thank yous and goodbyes, and to have shouted at Lou in anger. In my old home, where death sneaks into your home in the hush of night, goodbyes were a precious thing. How can I miss a place of such pain, I wonder? It doesn't make sense, and yet there it is. What I miss is the time before the pain. I miss Mama and Luwal and listening to my father sing a laughing song. In the moonlight, I see first the old gray fence with new boards on the gate. Gonwar and I had fixed. I see Lou's house, the tree with its great brown arms outstretched, and the sagging barn. I see Goal, too. She is in the field alone, staring out at the road. I touch the window, and then, I don't know why, I yell for the driver to stop. Question 1, why does Keck ask the bus driver to stop? Treed. By the time I'm over the fence, Goal had spotted me. She trudges over, slow but determined like an old woman longing for her grandchild's embrace. When we reach each other, I put my head on her neck. You should be in the barn, I say. I peer over her to see if Lou is outside. The sky is rich with stars, like fresh black dirt sprinkled with tiny seeds. The moon hangs low, a cupped hand of silver water. Goal nudges me. I know this means she wants an ear scratch, so I do as I am told. Tears warm my cheeks. A door slams. I see Lou heading to the barn. I crouch low beside Goal. I don't want Lou to see me crying. Question 2. What is your favorite animal? Keck loves cows. What is your favorite animal and why? She will be coming to get Goal, and I must hide. The field is empty. There's nowhere to go but the big tree. I dash over and clamber up easily. It's a good climbing tree. High up in the tangle of branches, I watch the cars charge by like a herd of panicked animals. Goal looks up at me, wondering why her ear scratch is all over. She heads slowly in the direction of the tree. I wipe my nose on my sleeve. No, I say softly. Go away, Goal. She settles in under the tree and stares up at me like a motherless puppy. I'm so high up, I should be able to see forever. In the starlight, I imagine, that I try hard enough. I can see my family's thatched hut, my father's sharp horned cattle, the tree where I learned I'm not meant to be a bird. Go away, I whisper. I am going to be here for a long time. Anwar. I have been in the trees forever when I hear a bus screech to a stop. Far across the field, I can just make out a tall figure climbing down the bus stairs. Gonwar leaps over the fence and strides across the field. He's heading toward the barn, but then he stops. He looks at Goal. He looks up into the branches of my tree, and he laughs. Please don't tell me you're trying to fly again, he says. How did you find me here? I ask in a loud whisper. I woke up when you shut the door. I watched from the window when you got on the bus, and I jumped on the next bus. Why? I demand. Gonwar shrugs. Don't know exactly, but it was worth it just to see you stuck up in that tree. Using his good hand in one graceful move, he climbs up and he joins me. I don't want company, he says. He ignores me. So you're running away? I'm trying to run away. Where to? Maybe I'm going home to find Mama. Gonwar nods. You think that's what she would want? It's what a man would do, I say. Gonwar rubs his chin. What if she's already on her way here? I rub my eyes. Suddenly, I feel tired. If I lie back on this branch, I feel like I could fall asleep for a week. I'm not used to making so many decisions. I'm not used to so many changes. In my old world, I was just Keck, the silly boy. I was Lual's little brother, Gonwar's troublesome cousin, my parents' mischievous child. That was all. And that was enough. I sigh. There are too many hard things, I say softly. I can barely hear my own words. It isn't fair. I want everything that I lost. Gonwar rubs the place where his hand should be. I look away. I don't want to think about what he has lost. Maybe I'll come with you, Gonwar says. No, I say firmly. You stay. But it will never be right for me here, Keck. I have this, he holds up his stump of an arm, and I have these scars, the gar. It's worse for me. I'll never fit in. If you're giving up, why shouldn't I? I don't answer him, but when I look at Gonwar's arm, I think of how he leapt into the tree like it was his only home, and how he does all the work I do with just one good hand to help him. I remember something my mama used to say on dark days. If you can talk, you can sing. If you can walk, you can dance. Gonwar, I whisper, what if she never comes? What if it's only me? I can't do it all by myself. Gonwar sends me a sad smile. My cousin, he says, you already are. Summarize what Keck and Gonwar are talking about. Talk. I hear the crunch of someone walking. Lou comes out of the barn. Goal, she calls. What are you up to, old girl? Slowly, Lou makes her way over. She follows Goal's gaze up into the tree. My, she says, this may be the first time in history a cow has treed two boys. We climb down slowly. When I get to the bottom, Gold nudges me again. She wants her ear scratch to continue. I force myself to meet Lou's eyes. Moonlight glints on her silver hair like ice on snow. I'm sorry, I say, for being angry with you. It isn't your fault about the farm. Lou smiles. Come on, you two. I could use a hand. We head toward the barn. Goal follows. Kind yellow light spills from the house. Lou and Gonwar and I stand there in the silent barn, stroking Goal and waiting. After a while, I help Lou toss some fresh hay into Goal's stall. How do you end up in my tree this evening? Lou finally asks. I don't want to say the truth, but when Lou looks right at you, you can't make up stories. I'm running away, I say. Lou thinks about this for a moment. Want a cookie before you go? I think, too, a cookie would not be such a bad thing. Chocolate? I ask. Yep. I follow Lou and Gonwar into the house. It might be a long time before I see chocolate again. Lou asks Keck if he wants a cookie before he goes. Why does she ask him that? Changes. I take a handful of cookies to show my gratitude. Lou sits across from us at the kitchen table. The light spreads gentle shadows. So you're running away, Lou says. That's a mighty big job. I watch while Lou gets us glasses of milk. On top of the cold box, there's a picture in a frame. I see a pretty woman smiling. A man has his arm around her. He is tall and proud. Behind the woman is a small tree. Lou follows my gaze. That's me, she says, a very long time ago, and my husband, Robert. And that tree is the one that you two just climbed. I stare at the picture, then back at Lou. If I try very hard and think once upon a time, I think maybe I can find that young woman in her face. I imagine a time when the barn didn't sag and the cattle were many and strong, and hope grew fast as flowers in good earth. I imagine Lou saying goodbye soon to this place that has been her home for so long, to live in a world with no snow and no cows. Lou pulls down another picture. This is my sister, the one in LA, she says. She has a little yard. I suppose I could plant some vegetables there. You can grow things year round. She stares at the picture. Imagine that. I spot a tiny seed of something fine sprouting in Lou's eyes. My heart is glad to see it. I remember my aunt's words. Keck finds the sun when the sky is dark. That was easy to do when I was a child, in my life before. It's not so easy when the clouds are low and black. I wonder if finding the sun is one way to be a man. I drink my milk. The clock ticks. Gonwar and Lou are watching me. I know it would be better to wait for Mama here, I say at last. Lou and Gonwar nod. They don't say anything. I guess I could come back to work until you have to leave, I add. That would be great, Lou says. I know Goal would like that. So, question. Why does Lou open up about her family? She could use more attention, Gonwar says. That cow does love a good ear scratch. Lou agrees. She's good for petting, I say, and leaning on, Gonwar adds. She's a very unusual cow, Lou says. Another idea comes into my head, like a friend knocking at the door. Sometimes, I very much like my brain, I say. What do you mean? Gonwar asks. I smile. I think maybe I just found some sun for Goal. Part 4. When spider webs unite, they can tie up a lion. There are about 20 pages left. In the Google Meet chat, predict. Predict means take a guess. What do you think? Predict in 2 sentences what's going to happen with this story. Try to be creative, try to be realistic as well. Part 4, when spider webs unite, they can tie up a line.